Hey YouTube, Satoshi Matrix here yet again bringing you another video. On this installment of the Controller Chronicles, I'll be talking about one of the more unique controllers for the PlayStation 2. That is the Hori Pocket Controller. Imported from Japan, this is the smallest controller I own. It's so small in fact that when compared to a Game Boy Micro, you'll see that they are virtually the same size. It's so small that I have to wonder if this was designed for, Japanese children rather than full-grown adults. But whatever. It is a very good controller, and let's go over its features. For one, it has a D-pad that's one piece. It's not like the broken up thing for the standard DualShock controllers. The four face buttons are very nice. They're very easy to press. You have your select and start buttons, and up top you have your shoulder buttons arranged in a horizontal fashion rather than the stacked vertical fashion that is typical for the PlayStation. So you have your L1 and L2, and then you have R2 and R1 buttons. On the back, you just simply flat on the back, but yeah, that's basically it. So, is this a good controller? Well, let's find out, right? So, I have my PS2 up and ready, so let's turn it on. Let's put the camera on the tripod. There we go. One thing I should mention is this controller has an extremely short cord. The cord is only about 3 feet long. Typical for Japanese controllers, but if you are living in anything other than a one-bedroom apartment, you'll probably want something a bit longer. So what I've done is I've rigged up a extension cord all the way to my PS2. So this is a standard PlayStation 2 extension cord. Very cheap on eBay. You can buy these for a couple bucks. So with that, you plug it in to the controller, and now you have essentially a 9-foot controller. So the game I'm demoing is Mega Man X from the Mega Man X collection. So you move with the D-pad obviously, and shoot, jump, dash. Yeah, basically the controls are very responsive, just as you'd want them. But yeah, what else can I say about the controller here? One thing I could say is the D-pad, while small, is very responsive and very useful for the games that use a digital controller. So such as Mega Man here, or Metal Slug Anthology, or fighting games, or shoot 'em ups. I use this controller extensively when I play games like Gradius 5, for instance. As it's entirely missing the 2 analog sticks, this is a completely digital controller, so will only be used in games that you can use the D-pad for and you don't need the 2 analog sticks. So that does limit the controller's use, but for these type of games that you need a really solid D-pad, this controller is absolutely perfect. One thing else I should mention is, if you don't like the feel of the D-pad is exactly the same size as the Nintendo GameCube's D-pad. That means that if you get peripherals such as little controller adapter things that you can put on top of the D-pad for the GameCube, they will also work with this controller. So here I put on this little D-pad attachment, and this allows me to get a better grip, so I can more easily, do what I want. Very good, very handy for shoot 'em ups and fighting games and that sort of thing. So here I am just playing Mega Man X with this little controller. It feels very similar to a Super Nintendo controller like this. Again, controller. Two shoulder buttons. watch me fail at Mega Man X. But yeah, that's basically it. This little controller. These are fairly rare, so if you are looking for one, you'll need to look in Japan because these controllers were never sold outside of Japan. And Hori later made a Hori Pocket Controller Pro, or whatever you would call it, that has analog sticks as well. But that's kind of defeats the purpose. If you're going to go with that, then why would you not use just the official controllers? But this one, has really good D-pad, good for platformers, good for fighting games, good for shoot 'em ups, that sort of thing. PS1 compatible, PS2 compatible. Yeah, it has all the buttons that you need, and it's very good. So that'll be it for now. So thanks for watching, YouTube.